Hi guys, it's Juice here. I am here to film my August TBR. Now, for the month of August, I am very ambitious this month. I have about 31 books on my TBR. I am hoping to read a lot. I have about 5 readathons that I'm participating in. I'll leave them all down below in the description bar. The first book I want to talk about on my August TBR is actually my current read, and that is My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This is Samantha Downing's first novel. I started this book last night, and I picked this up because my friend Mandy picked this book off my TBR. I was like, I finished 3 books this month already. I don't know what to read next. So I had my friend Mandy pick, and I really am enjoying this so far. I am this much into it. I am hoping to read a lot more of this today and tomorrow. But yeah, this is my first book for August. And then going into some new releases that I have The Dark Tide by Alicia Janiskin. I probably butchered that, I'm so sorry, but isn't this cover beautiful? Like, I'm so happy I got this book. I went to Barnes & Noble on Tuesday this week because I was going to go pick up Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, but they were sold out, so I was like, okay, I'll buy other new releases. So I bought this for myself, and I'm really excited to read it. Then we have Court of Lions by Simonia Dodd. This is the sequel to Mirage, which this Mirage came out in 2018, and this one just came out this year. The one thing that bugs me about this series is that it's A, super short, and B, there's a cover change to this series because we have Mirage and then Court of Lions. Like, just look at how drastic this change was. Like, I'm excited to read the sequel, but they changed the cover. Anyway, enough about cover changes. This is on my TBR. I'm really excited to read this one. And then I have Paolo Santiago and the River Tears by Taylor K. Mahesh. I'm sorry if I butchered that as well. This one is a new book, part of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, and I really am looking forward to this book, and I hope this one is a good series. I love reading middle grade. It's one of my least read genres in my reading life, but overall I'm really excited to read this one. And this one came out on Tuesday, August 4th, which was this past Tuesday. So the next book I have is Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston. I don't know how to say the name correctly. This is the 3rd book in the Geekarella series. I read both book 1 and 2 last year, and I loved it. So I'm hoping to read book 3 this year, and then hopefully we'll have more books by her to read soon. I know she has another book coming out in October that is a fantasy novel, so that's going to be interesting to read from. But I'm excited. This is a short, easy, contemporary read, and this came out on Tuesday, August 4th as well. The next book I have is one of my Book of the Month selection for August, and that was The Night Swim by Megan Golding. This is the 2nd novel from this thriller author. I picked this book up because this is a true crime novel, and it has a podcasting element, and I really enjoy podcasting books. I read a couple of those that had a podcasting element in it, so I'm excited to read this one. I hear nothing but amazing things, and this one also came out on August 4th this week. A book that I have early from Owlcrate. This book comes out August 25th, I think, that last Tuesday, whatever that release date is, and that is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angels. Sorry, I butchered that again. I'm so bad with names. This is an Owlcrate book. I started this one this week, and I'm really excited to be reading this. I'm reading this for the Owlcrate book club pick on their Facebook page. I finally am able to join, so I am reading this, and I'm enjoying it so far. Another book I'm hoping to read is The Guest List by Lucy Foyle, another adult mystery thriller from Book of the Month. Then I have The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is Alex North's first novel that he wrote. I read The Shadows, in the month of July, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping to love this one as much as I love The Shadows. Then I have Havenfall by Sarah Holland. This is another book of the month selection. This one I got back in March, and I've been meaning to read it ever since. And I'm buddy reading this with my friend Deborah, who I'll leave down below. Another mystery thriller that I have from Book of the Month is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. And now going on to the books that I got from Barnes & Noble on Tuesday this week, I finally picked up my copy of The Well of Ascensions by Brandon Sanderson. Look how big this is. Like, holy crap, it's almost 800 pages. This is a second book in the Mistborn trilogy, and I'm super excited to read this, but I don't know if I will finish this in the month of August, just because of how huge this is. Next book I got is Night of the Dragons by Julie Kagawa. I haven't shown off most of these books yet in a book haul yet, because I just got them this week, so maybe I'll do a mini August book haul before or after my TBR is made. Then I have Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I read Burn Our Bodies Down by her last month, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping to read this one this month, and I love how gorgeous this cover is. Next book I have is 10 Things I Hate About Pinky by Cynthia Menon. This is the third and final book in the When Dimple Met Rishi universe, and I'm super excited / sad to say goodbye to these cast of characters. Then I read Then I Want to Read You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This is a new release that I got. This came out in June, but I couldn't get to it in the month of June, so I got it in August. Its own voices for person of color, and it has LGBT rep in it. Then I got The Bromance Book Club by Alyssa K. Adams. I am going to be buddy reading this with my friend Tiffany, and I'm so excited that we are buddy reading this. And then I also told my friend Tiffany that the ebook was $2.99 for an ebook price, and she bought it immediately, and so did I. So I have a feeling I might be buddy reading this whole series when it comes out. Book 3 comes out in October this year. Then I have The Queen's Assassins by Melissa De La Cruz. I read the Alex and Eliza trilogy from this author a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I am hoping to read this new series, and I just saw the cover reveal for book 2, and it looks very pretty. So this is a fantasy novel. I've been giving my fantasy books a break just because I have been reading a lot of fantasy, so hopefully I can read some thrillers, some fantasy, and some contemporary books this month. The next book I am buddy reading with my friend Taylor, and that is Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is a historical fiction novel. We got this at Barnes & Noble for $5 as a paperback. It is a very big historical fiction novel, but I'm hoping to read this one, and hopefully we can love this one as much as we loved our other buddy reads for this year. Now I have a couple library books I would like to read this month, and the first one I have is Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is a first book in a series, and Reagan over at Peruse Project, she recommended me this book, and I just can't wait to read this one. I'm shocked my library had it, to be honest, because they normally don't have adult fantasy novels, so there's this one. And then we have The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is another library book as well. Super excited for this one. This is 530 pages, but it doesn't even look like it's 530 pages. So I'm shocked it's that big. Next, I have another adult romance novel, and that is Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winfrey. This one I got recommended to me from Heather over at Bookables. She said if I love romance contemporary novels, I would love this one, so I'm hoping to read this one this month. It's also a very short one, and the sequel came out last month, so I can binge read the first 2 books. Then I am hoping to reread City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is a 6th and final book in the Shadowhunter series. I'm rereading the Shadowhunter books because this series I started to reread last year, and I just never finished it, so hopefully I can finish it off this year. And then a couple books that I would like to reread this month. I have On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is a book I read last year, I think. Yeah, last year, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping to reread this and love it again. Then I have Finale and Legendary by Stephanie Garber. Legendary would be a reread for me, but Finale, I will be reading it for the first time, so I want to complete this series as well. The goal for August is to read as much of my books as I can. I have a lot of series I need to wrap up, and then I also have a lot of book of the month and library books to read. The next book I want to reread is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I read this back in 2018 and I loved it, but I have the sequel on my TBR here, which I'm about to talk about in a few minutes, but I'm hoping to read this one this month. And then the next four books I have are books that my mom picked out of my TBR jar. Each month I have my mom pick out 3 to 4 books, and this month I said to pick out 4, and so she picked Infinity Sun by Adam Severa. This is Adam Severa's first fantasy novel, and I believe I mentioned this in a TBR before on my channel, so hopefully I can actually get to it this month. Then I have Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I want to reread Vicious, which I talked about already, and then jump into Vengeful. And then I have Songs of the Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dow. This is a companion novel to the Forest of a Thousand Lanterns series, which I read Forest of a Thousand Lanterns last year, but I never picked up the sequel yet, so I might pick up the sequel for my library. We'll see. And then I'll pick up this one this month. It's also a short fantasy novel, so I feel like I could read this one this month. And then the last TBR jar pick that my mom made, that my mom got, was City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the Shadowhunter series. Again, I'm rereading this series, and hopefully I can complete the series in August. And then a couple of first books in a series that I want to read. A couple of these sequels are coming out August. I think one of them is already out, but the first one is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This is another fantasy novel and its own voices for the Asian rep, and it's also first book in a fantasy series. I think I've already said it. But this is a first book in a fantasy series, and I'm really excited. The sequel is called Vicious Spirit, and that comes out the 25th, I think. I could be wrong. I'll leave the correct date down below, so look down in the description bar. But I have the audiobook of this from my Audible account. I use one of my Audible credits for it, so I am hoping to love this one as much as I think I will. And also, my friend Heather picked this book out for me when I didn't know what to read. The second to final book on my TBR for the month of August is Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. The third book in this series comes out August 18th, and I have it on hold through my public library already, so I'm hoping to read this one this month, and then I will pick up the sequel or the third book whenever it comes in through my library. This one, I read the first book of this series in 2018 or 2019, I can't remember. The years are blending together. But this one, I love the first book to the series, so I'm hoping to love this one, and then I'm also hoping to love the third book. And then the final book on my August TBR is also another library book that I want to get to this month, and that is Gideon and the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. The sequel to Gideon and the Ninth is called Harrow and the Ninth, and that one came out on August 4th. I didn't buy the sequel to that because I haven't read the first book yet, and this is the library copy. Look at these black edges, like, hello. This is an adult fantasy novel, and I want to be reading more adult fantasy novels, so this is one that I hear is easy to read, so really excited to read a new series and to meet a new author. Hopefully I'll love this series, and book 2 is already out, so if I wanted to, I can binge read the first 2 books, and then I will have a year to wait for the third and final book. So yeah, those were all the those were all the books that I wanted to read in the month of August. It's been a while since I filmed, so sorry for all the mess up that we have. But yeah, I have a lot of books here I'm gonna go and read, And if you guys read any of these books before, let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the like button that gives me all the help. And then hit the subscribe button while you're down there. And I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a great day and night. And I'll see you guys with another video soon. Bye.